Evaluating detection methods. How to determine if a system is working. You spent time learning what the three detection methods are. Now the question shifts. How do you decide which one to use? In this lesson, we're looking at 4 key factors that help answer that. The 4 evaluation factors. Speed. How quickly does the system detect a threat? Cost. What are the hardware and operational expenses? False positive rate. How often does it alert on normal traffic? False negative rate. How often does it miss a real attack? These 4 factors are the framework for evaluating a detection method. No single method excels in all 4 areas, so choosing the right approach depends on an organization's specific needs. Let's take a look at each of these factors a bit more. Speed of detection. Faster detection means faster response, and a faster response means less damage. When an attack begins, every second counts. A ransomware attack can begin encrypting files within seconds of infiltration. The faster a detection system generates an alert, the sooner an analyst can respond. The key variable is how much computational work the system does per packet. More work means slower detection. Signature-based is the fastest with simple database lookup. It's fast because it's simple. Checking incoming traffic against a table of known attack signatures. No computation, just a match or no match, like scanning a barcode against a list of known items. Anomaly-based is slower through computing deviation from the baseline. Anomaly-based uses a previously built model of normal traffic, then measures how far current traffic deviates from it. Every packet requires more processing, especially on high-traffic networks, because it's calculating statistics, not just lookups. Hybrid is the slowest as it runs both detection engines. When speed is key, signature-based detection has anomaly-based and hybrid methods beat, provided the attack signature is in its database. If speed is the top priority, say defending against ransomware that begins encrypting files within seconds of execution, signature-based has a clear advantage here. But that speed comes with real trade-offs, which we'll see by the end of this presentation. Cost. More computation means more powerful and therefore more expensive hardware. Detection systems don't just cost money to buy, they cost money to run. Hardware, electricity, licensing, and staff to manage alerts all add up. Signature-based is the lowest cost. Simple lookups, minimal hardware. Signature-based is not only the fastest method, it's also the cheapest. Because it's just checking traffic against a table, it doesn't require high-powered servers. Anomaly-based has a higher cost. Baseline computation requires greater processing power. To run anomaly-based detection at scale, you need significantly more hardware, more CPU, more memory, plus the added overhead of maintaining a regularly updated behavioral baseline. Hybrid has the highest cost, running both detection engines. Hybrid carries the hardware burden of both methods running simultaneously. Budget often determines what's possible, not just what's ideal. As previously stated, the cost here isn't just the software license. It includes the servers and their hardware that these programs are run on, the electricity to power them, and staff to maintain and review it all. For many organizations, budget is the primary constraint on security investments. The limit is not what method is technically best, but what's affordable. This is especially true for small businesses, schools, and local governments with limited IT budgets. A small organization may only have budget for signature-based, even if anomaly-based would catch more threats. 2 ways a system can fail. Let's pose this as a question before moving on. What are 2 ways a detection system could fail? Think about it for a moment, and we'll see next in the next slides if you identified the correct fail states. False positive, an alert for something that turns out to be normal traffic, not an actual attack. False positives aren't free. Every alert an analyst investigates takes time and resources away from managing real threats. Signature-based detection has a very low false positive rate. Anomaly-based and hybrid generate more because any unusual but legitimate traffic can look like an anomaly. Common triggers include a software update pushing unusual packet patterns, an employee working late from an unfamiliar IP, or a spike in video calls during a company all-hands meeting. None of those are attacks, but they can all look suspicious to an anomaly-based system. False negative, when an attack happens and the detection system misses it entirely and no alert fires. False negatives can be devastating. An attacker who slips past detection has all the time they need to cause damage before anyone notices. Once inside undetected, they can move through the network, escalate privileges, and exfiltrate data with no one the wiser. This is signature-based detection's biggest vulnerability. A skilled attacker who studies published signatures can craft a payload specifically designed to match none of them. Anomaly-based and hybrid detection are much harder to bypass because they don't rely on knowing what an attack looks like in advance. The trade-off. False positives are when an alert fires for normal traffic. For signature, this is a very low rate when compared to anomaly and hybrid's higher rates. The cost of false positives is analyst time wasted on noise. False negatives are when a real attack goes undetected. Signature has a higher chance when compared with anomaly and hybrid. The cost of false negatives is that an attacker moves freely inside the network. Reducing the chance of one type of failure often increases the likelihood of the other. Every organization must choose where to draw that line. Think of a security checkpoint. If you screen everyone with maximum scrutiny, you catch more threats, but the line backs up and legitimate users are delayed. If you wave most people through quickly, throughput is high, but you might miss something real. Every security system faces that same tension. How the methods compare. Speed. Signature-based fastest, anomaly-based slower, hybrid slowest. Signature-based wins here because it's doing the least work per packet, just a database lookup with no baseline computation. Cost. Signature-based lowest, anomaly-based higher, hybrid highest. Signature-based wins again. Fast and cheap, that combination is a big part of why it remains the most widely deployed detection method, even given its limitations. False positive rate. Signature-based very low, anomaly-based and hybrid higher. Signature-based wins this factor as well. When it fires, it matches a known problem signature. That's a precise hit. Anomaly and hybrid generate more noise because unusual but legitimate traffic can look like an anomaly. False negative rate. Signature-based highest, anomaly-based lower. Hybrid lowest. Here, the picture reverses. Signature-based can be bypassed by an attacker who crafts a payload that doesn't match any known signature. Anomaly-based and hybrid are much harder to evade because they look for unusual behavior rather than known patterns. The full table is now visible. Signature-based wins 3 or 4 factors but has a critical weakness in missing real attacks, which has the highest potential for loss. Key takeaways. 1. Signature-based detection is the fastest and cheapest, but it can be bypassed by crafted attacks. 2. Anomaly-based and hybrid cost more and generate more false positives, but are much harder to circumvent. 3. False positives waste analyst time, while false negatives can let real attacks go undetected. 4. No method is perfect. Budget, traffic, and risk tolerance all shape the right choice. Think about a real-world organization, a hospital network, a small business, a government agency, and as we explore these concepts further in the following activities, think about how they can apply to that organization. Think about how to explain which method they choose and why.